Get ready for cargo shots from the Strat Times, presented by HACTL. Here's a weekly roundup of the latest air freight and logistics news.
What are EFW's latest milestones and partnerships in freighter conversions? Air France-KLM Group and IAG have announced their third quarter revenue for the period ending in September, while Agility's Q3 net profit has surged to $37 million. Stay tuned with us as we discuss the top stories of this week. I am Nikita Sebastian and you are watching Cargo Shots presented by HACTL. E-commerce to drive air cargo growth, says IATA. The airline industry saw a 13.4% rise in cargo ton kilometers in H1 2024, driven by e-commerce growth and shipping disruptions, according to IATA's latest report. International air cargo volumes increased by 15.6% year-on-year compared to June 2023, with Middle Eastern and Asia-Pacific carriers leading growth at 18% and 16.7% year-on-year respectively. The report also highlights that e-commerce now relies heavily on air cargo, with 80% of cross-border goods flown. Sustainability is also in focus. For instance, Aviation cargo has adopted biodegradable pallet covers. Meanwhile, digital transformation is enhancing logistics with tools like AI, automation and IATA's PLACI guidelines to boost efficiency and compliance across markets. EFW expands global presence with key P2F partnerships and milestones. EFW, the Airbus passenger-to-freighter conversion leader, has reached several milestones, expanding its footprint in the global air cargo sector. EFW has signed an MOU with HNA Aviation Group for A330 P2F conversions and will commence their collaboration by converting an initial batch of A330 aircraft from HNA Aviation Group's A330 fleet. The first conversion will take place at EFW Shanghai facility in early 2025, with an option for a second later in the year. In parallel, EFW celebrated the redelivery of its 100th converted freighter with 47 A321 P2Fs, 4 A320 P2Fs and 49 A330 P2Fs now in operation globally. This milestone underscores EFW's steady growth in P2F conversions, with its aircraft serving key global regions. EFW has also entered into a partnership with MRO Japan to establish Japan's first Airbus narrow-body P2F conversion site, expected to begin by 2025. This move targets Japan's expanding air cargo market, with air freight projected to grow at a 4.2% CAGR through 2029. Air France-KLM cargo revenue flat at $561 million in Q3 2024. Air France-KLM Group reported a flat cargo revenue of $561 million for the third quarter that ended September 30, 2024, with tonnage increasing 3.5% to 226,000 tons. The group capacity grew by 1.5% to 3.7 billion, while traffic was up by 3%. Unit revenue per ATK saw a 6% rise, reaching 12.74 cents. For the first 9 months of 2024, cargo revenue dropped by 9%, totaling 1.7 billion euros, despite a 3% rise in tonnage to 661,000 tons. For Q3, the group's overall revenue increased 4%, but net income dropped 13%, attributed to factors like the Paris Olympics. Air France-KLM also signed a major SAF purchase agreement to further their decarbonization efforts. IAG Q3 2024 cargo revenue up 16%, tonnage up 8%. International Airlines Group recorded a 16% rise in cargo revenue for the third quarter ending September 30, 2024, reaching 304 million euros, up from 263 million euros in the same period last year. Tonnage sold rose 8% to 157,000 tons, while cargo ton kilometers grew 16% to 1.3 billion. However, cargo revenue per CTK dipped slightly to 22.96 cents. For the first 9 months of 2024, cargo revenue was flat at 870 million compared to 866 million euros in the same period last year, while tonnage increased 8% to 475,000 tons. The increase in global airline capacity led to an 11.3% drop in cargo yields from 2023. IAG's Q3 group revenue grew 8% to 9.3 billion euros, while profit after tax rose 17% to 1.4 billion euros. Agility Q3 net profit zooms to $37 million. Agility Global has announced a net profit of $37.1 million for Q3 2024, marking a significant increase from $0.8 million in Q3 2023. Revenue rose by 16% to $1.2 billion, driven by solid growth in its core businesses, Menzies, TriStar, and Agility Logistics Parks. For the first 9 months of 2024, net profit reached $97.4 million, while revenue grew by 13% to $3.3 billion. Menzies saw a 24% revenue increase, boosted by new operations in Europe, Asia, and India, while ALP expanded its footprint in Saudi Arabia with plans for additional warehousing space. Agility's largest investment, DSV, benefited from its acquisition of Schenker, which is expected to strengthen its position as the world's largest freight forwarder upon closing in 2025. The total carrying value of Agility's investments reached $5.1 billion, up $485 million from December 2023. Aviation Cargo unveils new brand and expands global reach. Aviation Cargo has unveiled a new brand concept, Aviation Cargo, We Are Doing It For You, emphasizing its dedication to customer needs and long-term partnerships. The airline's expanded fleet now includes 4 new A330P2F aircraft, boosting capacity while reducing CO2 emissions. The first aircraft joined the airline's commercial partner Aero Union in July, with 2 more arriving in 2025 and the final in 2026. The airline's partnership with Choose enables clients to track and offset emissions, supporting Latin American environmental projects. While in partnership with Turkish Airlines, Aviation Cargo has also launched a Liège-Miami route, expanding access to a global network beyond Miami with increased capacity. The airline has set industry standards as the first in South America to integrate with DB Schenker and the first in the Americas to achieve 4 CEIV certifications. Recent upgrades at its Miami and Bogota terminals have increased peak season capacity by 83% and improved average turnaround efficiency by 20%. Thank you for joining us on this week's Cargo Shots. Stay updated by hitting the subscribe button on our YouTube channel and visiting www.stattimes.com for daily news updates. We will be back next week with a new episode of Cargo Shots featuring more interesting stories.
You've been watching Cargo Shots from the Start Times, presented by HACTL. See you next week with more updates from the air cargo and logistics industry.